Tonight on DC News Now at 9.
Hands up, DC! Hands up, DC!
Congress members swarming GW's campus, criticizing Mayor Bowser for not putting protests to a stop.
These people are not here in good faith. They do not represent our movement. They do not represent us as students.
The visit drawing outrage from student protesters as lawmakers threaten action. Caught on camera, another chaotic car meetup. Drivers doing donuts in a Virginia parking lot. How police are trying to crack down on the dangerous trend. A pack of dogs attacked 3 people in D.C.
Look down, the dog staring me in my face.
Neighbors say it's the worst they've seen, but it wouldn't be a first. Tonight, the survivor speaking to DC News Now. Her message to the owner.
Hi, everyone. Tracking in a 90-degree day for your Thursday. We'll look at it coming up.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hands up, DC! Hands up, DC! Hands up, DC!
Developing now, it is day 7 of the ongoing pro-Palestine encampment at George Washington University. Some federal leaders say that is 7 days too long. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan. Today, GOP House members you can see walking through camp as they continue to criticize how D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is responding. Our Mariel Carbone is at GW tonight. And Mariel, those House Republican leaders, they want MPD to remove that encampment.
Yeah, Chris, they do. But it's important to note that members of Congress can't just overtake MPD and give it orders or even call in the National Guard to come sweep this camp here. That is a power only President Biden can do here in D.C. But that hasn't stopped members of Congress from putting that pressure on police to do something, including during their walkthrough here today. A roar of chants as GOP leaders walk through the pro-Palestine encampment at GW University.
Congress members came here clearly to try to provoke some sort of response to justify the violent repression that they want to unleash on these students.
We're seeing these protests spring up all across the United States.
Congressman James Comer, one of several criticizing Mayor Muriel Bowser and her response to the protests now in day 7.
It's time that Mayor Bowser gets aggressive.
To this point, D.C. police have not intervened or attempted to remove the camp.
Mayor Bowser has let down the students of George Washington. She has let down the city of Washington, D.C. Everybody believes in peaceful protests, but this is trespassing now.
Congress threatening to step in if MPD doesn't act soon.
This all kind of goes to show that members of Congress would rather deploy police force on their own students than simply just listen to their demands.
Georgetown sophomore Selena Al-Shihabi is part of the encampment.
This is a very peaceful encampment. The second that Congress kind of publicized that they would be coming here, that peace was disrupted.
She calls the visits and comments made by lawmakers outrageous, including accusations that outside groups are funding the protest.
Students have been bringing out their own tents. Community members have been cooking us homemade meals. And also, we put a GoFundMe link in our bio.
And the House Oversight Committee plans to hold a hearing next week on Wednesday about this encampment. They've invited the mayor to be there, and she says she's still reviewing that request. Chris, she also said today that she plans to continue relying on MPD and their expertise to decide how to handle this camp out here. Reporting live from GW tonight, I'm Mariel Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Mariel, an update. Thank you. Meanwhile, now the latest on the war. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem today. It is Blinken's 7th visit to that region since the war erupted back in October. He's trying to secure what has so far has been an elusive deal between Israel and Hamas. The goal is to avert an Israeli incursion into the southern Gaza city of Rafah, where hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are sheltering. Blinken says that Israel has made very important compromises, and it is now up to Hamas to get that deal done.
This is something that the whole world is watching. And if Hamas actually purports to care about the Palestinian people and wants to see an immediate alleviation of their suffering, it will take the deal.
Blinken is trying to advance a truce that would free hostages held by Hamas in exchange for a halt to the fighting and delivery of much needed food, medicine, and water into Gaza. Palestinian prisoners are also expected to be released as part of that deal. Our coverage on the protests on college campuses will continue at 9:30. We'll head out to Los Angeles and clashing protests spurring at UCLA. Now the university is stepping in. By the way, of course, when we're not on air, you can always keep tabs on the latest information by going to dcnewsnow.com. More than 1,000 hotel workers in D.C. rallying tonight. They're calling for better pay and fair workloads. Union members say although the hotel industry has rebounded since the pandemic, workers are still not able to make ends meet.
For these hotels, it's been a record year for the hotels, and we deserve a big raise here. Inflation has really hurt their families, and they need increase in wage, increase in pension to keep up with that.
Today's march downtown comes as 4,000 union members are bargaining for their new contract in 22 hotels in D.C. DC News Now is your local election headquarters. Early voting for the Maryland primary election gets underway tomorrow. So early voting centers will be open from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. through next Thursday. 5 days later, it's primary day, May 14th. Now, the biggest race to keep an eye on is the open U.S. Senate seat. Leading Democratic candidates are Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks and U.S. Congressman David Trone. Former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan is a leading candidate on the Republican side. There are also 3 congressional seats open. This includes an open seat in the 6th District that covers Western Maryland, along with Frederick County and parts of Montgomery County. All right, let's get a first check on the forecast now. Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. And Janessa, not bad right now, but tomorrow will certainly feel summer-like.
Yeah, we're excited to put you back in the pool tomorrow afternoon if you have Thursday off. Man, a pretty fantastic day. Hydration is key. Hopefully you can get some water intake in now. You're going to be sweating tomorrow afternoon. Humidity starts to rise a little bit. This is not going to be oppressive air, but definitely pretty noticeable. 75 right now under clear skies. Very quiet weather pattern across the entire DMV. It stays that way throughout your entire Thursday. Friday, much of the same. We have that high that's out towards Roanoke, and it's stagnant. It's not moving, and we're under the warm sector of this warm front from Richmond up towards PA. Portions of the DMV, parts of Pennsylvania, down towards the Carolinas. We're nearly 20 degrees above average going into your Thursday. So hour by hour, we'll warm up pretty quickly by 9 a.m. into the upper 60s. We do have rain this upcoming weekend. It's time we take a look at it. Have your full forecast, Chris. It's coming up.
Okay, Janessa, thanks. We'll see you then. Developing at 9, a huge fire in northeast D.C. forces 9 people, including 3 children, out of their homes. No one, fortunately, was injured. The fire spread through at least 2 homes on 24th and Otis Streets just before 6 p.m. 2 people were able to escape when those flames broke out. About 100 emergency workers were called to the scene. D.C.'s fire chief says the extra help was certainly needed.
That's really important today in this heat, first really hot days of the year. This is a taxing fire for the firefighters, so we're making sure they all go through rehab, they get hydrated before we put them back to work.
Well, the cause of the fire remains under investigation tonight. Meanwhile, a flight from Reagan National Airport makes an emergency landing after a possible bird strike. The American Airlines flight was on its way to Key West this afternoon. The plane diverted to BWI just as a precaution. No passengers or crew members on board were injured. We have new video tonight coming out of Fairfax County. Police and state troopers working together to break up a late-night car meetup. Drivers were reportedly doing donuts on private property. The incident happened this weekend in Chantilly. Our Northern Virginia reporter Max Marcilla joining us live tonight from Chantilly at the Wegmans, where police convened on those drivers. And Max, police are cracking down on these meetups.
And Chris, Police Chief Kevin Davis here in Fairfax County says those authorized car meetups, car events can be a great community event. He's drawing a line, though, between those really positive events and what he says police have been repeatedly trying to break up throughout the county and throughout the region, something he says that they've had to break up even through some consequences. Over the weekend in the Wegmans parking lot in Chantilly, Fairfax County Police and Virginia State Troopers responding and putting an end to a so-called street takeover that started elsewhere but ended here. No one was arrested, and it had a much better ending than this one.
Doing donuts in a parking lot behind electronic.
This was early Easter morning in Springfield when officers tried to break up this larger car meetup. And you can see here a responding officer's car was surrounded.
And I believe that they fully intended to drag her out of that car.
In that early morning takeover, an officer was hurt when a driver sped away. They had minor injuries, and a few people were arrested, charges ranging from speed to elude to felony hit and run. Tonight, police say they're staying ready for when these parking lots by day turn into a danger zone at night.
They drive at high rates of speed. They endanger the lives of themselves. They endanger the lives of their other enthusiastic and masked supporters.
We asked Fairfax County Police for an interview, but received this statement instead. Quote, Fairfax continues to monitor channels used to organize these car meetups and ensure sufficient resources to address these issues as they arise throughout the county. Chief Davis says it's often the same people doing the same things in different places, going across county or state lines to find a spot where they won't be found by the cops. Now, in that statement from Fairfax County Police, you recall they mentioned a need for resources to break up things like this. Well, here's the thing. Chief Davis, in that press conference that you heard clips from in the story, he said that that street takeover in Springfield actually drew some police resources away from other neighborhoods, other communities, because they had to break up that street takeover. Again, that was last or just before the month turned to April on Easter morning. Reporting live in Chantilly, Max Marcella, DC News Now.
All right, in Maryland, meanwhile, lawmakers advancing a bill that would lead to stricter penalties for street racing and reckless driving. So if signed by Governor Wes Moore, the penalty for certain reckless driving behavior will increase from a $500 to a $1,000 fine. The bill will also add up to 12 points on a driver's license if that driver is convicted. The law, if passed, would take effect in June. We have a warning about more card skimmers turning up here in our area at convenience stores. This time, they've been spotted at stores around Prince George's County. Police recovered 8 in just the last month. Investigators are reminding you, be vigilant when swiping your cards with a reader. They say the contactless tap-to-pay option, that is a much safer method.